Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Welcome, everybody in the audience today. It's October 8th, and it's the second installment of the Fall Google for Education webinar series. And today I'm joined by Lori and Lavna, and we're going to be talking about Chromebooks and really how they've achieved a great amount of change over the last few years in order to become super powerful creative tools that really fit all users, not just students any longer. I know you guys are going to be wanting today's slides and you're going to want to look at them on your own screen and maybe come back to them later for reference. So if you want to take a look in the top right corner of our slides, you can see the short URL that you can access today. And if you'll type it in just as we have it, you're going to see this address all throughout the slides on our presentation today. But it is goo.gle/ uppercase PTS dash 10-8-24. So that's going to be, I believe somebody will put that in the chat for us. But if you want to access these slides anytime after today, you'll have access to them in published form. All right. So one of the things that today's webinar really wants to accomplish is talking about how Chromebooks have switched and changed over the last few years. They have become more powerful. They've become bigger, stronger, faster. And when we first started Chromebooks in the K-12 in the K-12 environment, they were a much more streamlined, much smaller device. But we kind of joke about how Chromebooks have grown up because now Chromebooks have larger screens. They have more storage capacity. They have faster processors. And so today we really want to highlight those things with you guys. Before we jump in too much further, I want to introduce myself. My name is Jessica Powell Albright. I am a lead learner guide here at Fried Technology. We're a company that supports Google for Education. And my background is that I taught middle school in the US, that is ages 13, 14, 15. My students learned to read and write in my classroom. And I feel like if you teach that age group of students, you know what I'm talking about. You either love them or you hate them and you don't ever want to teach those grades. And I love them and I miss teaching those students every day. And I know that my colleagues also are classroom educators. Lori?
So I am Lori Roberts. I am a lead learning guide with Fried Tech, and bless you, Jess, for dealing with those middle school children because I couldn't have done it. I was a high school CTE teacher, so that's 15 to 18-year-olds. So I got to use the if you want to be an adult, you need to act like an adult talk with them a lot
Mm-hmm.
of times. So that's me, and then we also have with us.
Lovna.
Yeah.
Hi, Jess and Lori. Hi, everyone. This is Lovna Tarek. I'm a Google Workspace administrator and trainer at Quaid English School, which is also a Google reference school. So I'm lucky to be working at a Google reference school. So I've joined that Google for Education journey ever since 2019, which is during COVID, when everyone started leveling up their tech skills. That is when I discovered my passion for training and sharing the love of Google tools. So, yeah, and I used to be a former teacher for 14 years before becoming Google admin. So, Jess, I can definitely relate. So,
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, the kids are the best part of our job, and sometimes they're the most challenging part of the job, but we love it.
exactly.
And I know all of us here today love these tools and what they bring to the classroom. So
So,
let's jump
yeah.
in then. And we're going to talk about really focusing on three things with Chromebooks. So the first thing we're going to really kind of hone in on is just the device's speed and connectivity and some of the upgrades that we've seen come through. But really the bulk of today's webinar today is to talk about content creation and really the different creativity tools that are now available to us on these advanced use Chromebooks. And then we will tease a few extras that kind of go along with the Chrome OS and talk to you guys a little bit about the upcoming events in this webinar series as well. So just a touch on device speed and connectivity. So if you've been using Chromebooks a while, you're going to see that the Chromebook device has really elevated from a student-focused device to now a whole classroom solution, which is going to be focused for educator use and student use. We have 55% fewer unplanned outages with Chromebooks. We see far less frequent rebooting. And my favorite part about a Chromebook, and if you've been using Chromebooks, you guys I know have as well, is the quick reboot time. So we're seeing 73% less time to reboot. We're looking at less than 10 seconds to reboot. In fact, yesterday I had some of our advanced use Chromebooks at the office, and I was trying to update them to get them ready for the webinar that we're working with. And I was really concerned because I remember I had a flashback to the days before Chromebooks when we had to update machines. We called it update day, and we basically just pushed off the updates on our machines. And it was one of those days that took all the devices out of commission. We couldn't use them in the classroom those days. And then yesterday, in about 6 minutes, I was able to update about 15 Chromebooks, just turning them on, updating them, having them reboot and update. It was so fast. So really that leads to far less time spent maintaining these devices and managing them. And that's ultimately the goal, to keep the devices in the hands of the students so that they can be creative and start using their brains for far more interesting things than just restarting their devices.
I had that happen to me this morning, Jess. When I opened up the Chromebook, it said finishing an update. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. And I looked back and it was on. It was so fast.
Yeah, I love that. Well, if you go look, these Chromebooks are honestly just creative powerhouses with the essential tools for content creation. So in this session, like I mentioned, we're going to really kind of focus in and hone in on how these advanced use Chromebooks elevate projects, making it easier than ever to produce dynamic and engaging content. The advanced use Chromebook portfolio uses about 30 plus powerful, sleek, and productivity ready devices that are as versatile as anything a teacher would need. And you can see here all these different superior specs that they have, more RAM, more storage, stronger processors, the form factor and usage flexibility, meaning we have these devices that are just durable for the classroom with built-in styli, with touchscreen, even the fingerprint sign-on, which is super handy, especially for our younger learners when passwords and typing might be a little bit of a challenge. But then also for our educators, having that security feature is super handy as well. And then these built-in class teaching features like really high-quality displays, high-quality webcams, and then of course the dual front and rear webcam. So those parts of these devices, these advanced use Chromebooks, really make them ideally suited for the classroom. And as students are becoming more tech savvy and we're doing more projects related to technology, more work around in our classroom related to technology, we want students to have these high quality devices because it's going to be the right bridge between their classroom use and their professional use.
I just got to say, Jess, my favorite feature is the touchscreen
Yes.
and the tablet, because that is what my Chromebook is. And it's
Mm-hmm.
really nice to break that keyboard off and be able to just kind of carry it around like a tablet.
Oh, I know. We're so used to, and so are students, they're so used to using the on-screen, the touchable features. I think it's interesting that when we work with educators, that's the usually the last thing that they're doing. They're usually looking at their keyboard and squinting and looking at the keyboard, and we're like, just touch the screen. You can do it. Yeah, it still surprises me that our educators haven't quite moved that direction. At least not all of them.
It
Labna, how
takes
about you? When you work with teachers, do you notice they still kind of prefer a keyboard over a touchscreen?
They do, but the problem is not with my teachers. The problem is with me because I'm used to that screen. Whenever I go to other PCs at my school, I like keep on scrolling, and then they're like, "It is not touch. It is not touch."
We're spoiled, aren't we?
Or
Exactly. Yeah.
or you point at something on their screen, and you go, "Oops, I didn't mean to touch it. I just meant to point at
Yeah.
it." So yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Well, we know that these devices are very powerful. So let's then kind of switch our focus and not just what can we do technically on the device, but what can we do creatively with the device?
Absolutely. So let's look at content creation. This is my favorite part of what we can do with computers is creating that content for our students and also letting our students create content as well. And with screencasts on Chromebook, a great number of updates have come. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So I'm going to hop on over to screencast. And I didn't want to be in it, but that's okay. We'll go back home to see all of my screencasts here. So I have one that I already started that I recorded before. So I'm going to open that one up because most of these new updates are with the interface, making editing much, much easier for us as educators, but also for our students that we want creating these screencasts as well. So what we can do is in the top right hand corner, I'm going to tap on edit or click on edit. And over on the right-hand side where we've got that transcript happening, what you'll notice now that all of these breaks in the transcript are at the sentence level as opposed to the paragraph level where they were before. So now we can really come in and edit out individual sentences or mute those sentences on the video, making it really great for editing, quick and easy editing for us and for our students. Also in here, you've got some automatic section breaks. And what's nice about these section breaks is you can actually add in section titles that will show up at the bottom of the screen whenever students are watching that video. So let's get started. And I just type it in there, toggle on the show section title on the screencast, and then you'll see it shows up in the bottom left-hand corner on the screencast, making it really nice. And then another feature that I love, I'm going to go ahead and save that, is back on our main screen where that transcript is, you can now translate the transcript as the creator. So before, once we created that screencast and we shared it out with students or with others, and they viewed it within screencast on the Chromebook, they were able to see the transcript in multiple languages, but now we can ourselves. So I'm going to
That's
just
awesome.
pick a different language there. Oops. Of course it would go. Something went wrong. Let's go down to Spanish. Oh, again, something went wrong. I probably don't have the language packs fully installed yet, but that's okay.
It's because you're
They're there.
demonstrating on camera for hundreds of people to see.
It
That's
is. That's the
why.
way it goes wrong, right?
Exactly.
All those times. So all of those are there in those new updates for screencast on the Chromebook. So those
I
are
love
really
how
nice.
those section headers kind of show up in the transcript too. So it's really nice. It breaks it up for students who need things broken into smaller chunks. I'm sure
Absolutely.
that would eliminate some anxiety over reading a lot of text.
I'll let you jump to them too, I'm sure. So makes it really
Absolutely.
nice.
Yeah.
The next one, this is one that was teased last week in the session, and that is Vids, which is coming soon to Google Drive is where you're going to be able to find Vids. And Vids is a collaborative video creation app that is going to make it easy for you and your students to create engaging videos. You're going to be able to use Vids for pre-recorded lessons, video explainers, maybe even professional development if you are someone who creates that. And students can use it to create book reports, video essays, and a whole lot more. So this is going to be launching for Google Workspace for Education Plus later on this year. But the thing that I'm going to show you today is the really exciting part that is going to add in some generative AI that's going to be available with the Gemini for Google Workspace add-on later this year as well. And what this is going to let you do is create your video storyboard from a prompt. So you put in your unique prompt, it's going to create original images, allow you to manipulate those images, scenes. You're going to be able to add in narration as well. So let me show you this one because this one is going to
And Lori, while
blow
you're
your
going
mind.
to that, I have questions just to clarify. So Vids is going to be available for Workspace Plus soon.
Hmm.
That's the Vids part. That's something that you're showing right now in Google Drive. And
Correct.
then the second portion, separate from Vids, is the AI enhancement that's going to be part of the Gemini Education Standard and Gemini Education Premium.
Yes, those
Okay,
add-ons you'll get this extra piece.
got it.
So once Vids launches later this year for the Education Plus, you'll be able to find Vids in Google Drive. So just like we go into Drive and click on New to add in a new Google Doc, a sheet, a slide, that's where you're going to find Vids. So you can see it's right here between slides and forms. So I'm going to open up Vids. And when I do, I have the Gemini add-on on this account. So if you do not have the Gemini add-on, it's just going to go straight into Vids and allow you to start editing. It looks very similar to slides in what the layout kind of looks like. And you're going to see that in just a minute once I create this. So then what I can do is, since I have that Gemini add-on, it's going to ask me for the prompt. So I'm going to say, explain the difference between an animal cell and a plant cell. I'm going to make my science teachers happy with this one, right? And then I'm just going to click next. And Gemini is going to start to update that outline. So here is the outline. I can move these items around in the list, so I can reorder. I can edit them if I want to. So I can click on that little pencil mark and edit. I can add in a new one, or I can delete what I don't need. So I'm just going to leave everything here, and I'm going to click on next. And then it's going to ask me to pick a design. So I don't have to think about design even. This is going to do it all for me. So I'm going to go with this bright colored one down here at the bottom. I kind of like that one. Here it shows me this is what the design looks like. Again, notice none of my content is in there yet for plant cells and animal cells. And then I'm going to click create the draft video.
That's fancy.
Just a few steps. I like how it adds in that little animation, and we're sprinkling in some magic. So there it is.
That's awesome.
So you've
And
got this. Go ahead, Jess.
I was going to say, this is fully editable.
So if I don't like anything, any of the titles that it came up with, I can change this. I could put comparing plant versus animal cells and get rid of that subtitle down here at the bottom if I want to. It adds in videos that I can update and change those as well. I can press play to see this in action, so I can see all of that animation happening already for me. Again, saving me time. And it even comes with a sample script. So if I want to, I can use that script to record my own voice. But what's really awesome is look down here. You can generate a voiceover and it will speak it for you.
Wow.
So that one-stop shop, I can create content for my students without having to take all of that time. My teachers who have recorded screencasts for your kiddos, especially back during those COVID times, you know how long of a process that can be. This is going to save so much time in creating content for your students.
That's
Wow.
phenomenal. So I would
Yeah.
think that really the practice for us as educators is really to get good at creating prompts. The prompting is probably the more important thing for us to know exactly what we're asking for when we prompt the AI to generate.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Well,
again,
this
all
is
of this is,
amazing.
go ahead, Lamna.
It is amazing. I'm sure my teachers would just love it.
Yes.
I'll save time.
So it's coming soon. We're all going to get to utilize this very soon. And once you're done with it, you can share it out just like you share out a Google Slide, a Google Doc, or you
Mhm.
can even download it as a video. So when you go to
Wow.
File, you can download it as an MP4. So you've got that video that you could then go post into your Google Classroom, and students can watch that content on demand whenever they want to.
Ooh, there's even version history. I love that.
Mhm.
That's one of the best parts about anything in our Google Drive is that version history. That's awesome.
Mhm.
So these are also collaborative?
Yes, so we can share them, work together. Students would be able to work together as well. So instead of that normal Google Slide presentation that's an assignment at the end a lot, we do those as projects. This
Mhm.
is going to give us a similar feel to those Google Slides, but we can take them up a notch. And then with that Gemini add-on, the possibilities are endless on what can be created with this.
That's cool. Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, so let's hop back on over and see what's next. The next one might cause a little bit of controversy because it includes that GIF word,
You
right?
mean GIF?
It's a GIF,
No, it's a
Jess.
GIF.
It's a GIF. It's a
Lambda,
gift
be
we
the
give
tiebreaker.
others.
I say GIF.
We're the winners.
That's okay. Hopefully there's some people in the chat that agree with me that it's a GIF, but that's okay. GIF, GIF, or GIF, we call it all of them. Now you can record them using Chromebook Screen Capture. So this is going to allow both you and your students to create those GIFs for lessons, slide presentations, and more. So all you got to do is on your Chromebook, down in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll go down into your settings to get to that screen capture, or you can press the screen capture button on your keyboard if your Chromebook has one. And once you go into screen capture, you will select your screen area that you want to record from. And on the little toolbar down at the bottom where you can choose between a still screen grab or a video, you'll go to the video option. And in the middle of the screen where it says record video, there is now a drop down where you can choose record a video or record a GIF.
That's impressive. I love a good GIF.
I do too. And they save directly onto your Chromebook into the downloads folder, so you can easily access them from there.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that was coming. That's a new feature for me.
See, here's another one coming soon to Chromebooks, the Recorder app. My friends that have Pixel phones, you've had the Recorder app on your phone, but that is now coming to Chromebook Plus, and it's going to allow users to capture audio, and it will automatically be transcribed and synced across all of your devices for easy sharing. Unlike standard audio apps, Google Recorder provides a scannable transcript and summarizes long recordings into three main key points. So, using the Gemini model, it's also going to identify and label speakers. So, that's going to make it especially helpful for multi speaker events like lectures or meetings. So, students recording your lecture in class, they're going to be able to know when a teacher is speaking or when a student is speaking and be able to denote those within that transcript as well.
It's
So
amazing.
that's coming soon. This one I'm excited for.
Love it.
Let's see what's next.
So I know that everyone now, like who's watching us, loves vids, right? But that is a cool feature too. So now teachers are able to record their slides presentations directly in slides without having to use a third-party screencasting tool or even like go on Meet and then start recording and they share their screens. So that is something that you don't need to do right now because you can basically just go to slides and start recording your slides presentation. So teachers can even do that in advance. They can provide their students with like a slides recording that they can use to review. They can even like use it to learn at their own pace. And like teachers can even like unleash their students' creativity. That is something that I'm planning to just suggest that teachers do, which is giving the students a project of like creating their own slides recording and they choose a topic like their favorite topic and then they can just record it in slides and then they can just like submit it on Google Classroom. So that is something that they can definitely do. So I believe that this feature is really amazing. So let me just take you over to slides and know how you can record your slides presentation. So you can just click on the record button. So you can find it here. Yes. And then you can record a new video. So once you do, let me tell you about some of the things that you can do here before you start recording. So you can first of all like resize your speaker spotlight. Okay, so you can resize it. You can even like change its location on the screen as Laura is showing you right now. Yes, and you can even blur the background.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, if you go to the settings icon, you can even adjust your audio and video settings in case you're using your headsets or even like an external webcam. So of course, you know that you can be using the arrows to move from one slide to another. And when you're ready, you can just like hit that recording button and then you can just start recording. 3, 2, 1, and you're ready. Yay! So after you're done, you can stop recording. And then when you go back to your slides presentation, if you would like to check all of the list of slides recordings that you have, you can just like click on the drop down menu next to record, and then you can check like all of the list of recordings there. You can see that one that we've just recorded right now is still processing. And later on, you can find all of your recordings in your Drive's slides recording folder. So that is just amazing, right?
I noticed there was a share button. I mean, sorry, not a share button, a save button. So do we have to make sure that we click that save button, or if is it just like everything else with Google, it'll save automatically?
So it is supposed to be saving automatically. Okay, yeah, that is what is supposed to happen.
Okay.
And
This
you're
is
talking
Yeah,
about this one that'll show up, right? I'm going to
yeah, the drive
hit close.
button that is
Yep,
there.
right
Yeah,
there.
mhm.
Right, that one. Make sure to click on that one so that it
so you
syncs
can
up
make
to
sure
those
to click on
slides.
that one. Yeah, exactly. To make sure that it just gets saved in your drive folder.
Got it.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
that's so cool.
And then since we were like seeing that video feed appearing on the slide itself, so next we're going to move on and talk about the speaker spotlight, which is pretty cool. Okay, so in order for teachers and students, when they are working on recording their slides presentation, to have like a captivating presentation, an engaging one, so they are now able to use the speaker spotlight, and they can even change the shape of that speaker spotlight. So if we go back to the slides presentation, right here in the toolbar, you're going to find the speaker spotlight icon that is going to open that motion side panel on the right side. So you can choose from like a variety of shapes here. So let's select one of them. It is going to be placed on your slide. As you can see here, I love that heart-shaped one. Thank you, Lori.
Mhm.
Okay, so even if you close that side panel, and whenever you would like to just like change that shape into like a different one, you can click on the mask icon here in the toolbar and select a different shape. So yeah, let's select a different one. Okay, perfect. So there are other kind of things that you can do as well with your speaker spotlight here. You can select the format options from the toolbar, and you can apply drop shadow. You can even like click on the animate option and just like choose any of the animations here and apply it on your speaker spotlight. And this is how it will look like. Space bar, and here you go. Amazing. So one more thing that I need to share with you regarding your recordings for the slides presentations. So there's something that you need to know. Every single recording is limited to 30 minutes, okay? And you need to make sure that you have editing access to your slides presentation, because if you're not the owner, if you're not the one who created that slides presentation, or you're not an editor, you will not be able to create a new recording. Okay, so if you're a viewer, you won't be able to do that. And that slides recording also works on a Chrome browser. Okay, so just make sure that you're using your Chrome browser as well. And yeah, and something else for the storage that you have on your drive, if you exceeded your drive storage quota, you will not be able to make your recording as well. So these are like some tips that you need to just like bear in mind when recording your slides presentation.
So Lori, if you went to present, if you hit the present option, would that be how the yeah, it's going to prompt you to do your camera. Let's see if it works. It's always like cameraception whenever you have I think there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what this is great for is that we know we learned this when we really kind of made that transition into making lots of virtual content and digital content for students to do at home learning. Is that
Mm-hmm.
when your teacher's face is associated with their voice, they're far more likely to pay attention, to connect
Yeah,
with the
exactly.
content. We've noticed this across the board, whether we work with adult learners or student learners, but having a face to go with the voice is always just a little bit more effective and allows the students to connect to the content just a little better. And I don't know, I'd
Definitely.
love to find research on that. I'm sure there is some research on that that kind of proves that that is the case, but we just know this anecdotally from our personal experiences. And so having that speaker spotlight in your slides when your students are looking at slide decks or when you're working in a professional environment and people are looking at your presentation at home, just having your face on the slide is going to be just such a great impact to what they're
Yeah.
hearing and also what they're absorbing.
It helps it become more compelling. Like they stay focused on you when they
Yeah.
get to see it. Yeah.
And I think it
So
helps it helps like just that you're making a connection with someone because when I
exactly.
was a tech coach and I would make screen recordings for my staff members, I hated including the video of myself in there, but I knew it was good because it was connecting them with me. And I had a lot of teachers that I help support. So it's just another way that you can get your face in front of folks again so that they connect you with helping them so that they know that you're a friendly face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let me clarify then. So for the recording, there's the option to have your face embedded on the slide, and you can move your little icon in the top, bottom, left, right corners. You can resize it, make it larger, smaller. That's in the recording feature.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
option, the speaker spotlight, is really more of a live feature, right? Whether you're presenting via Meet or whether you're in a large group setting, but having the speaker spotlight is a live thing. So you're not necessarily recording this. This is an addition to what we would see in recording. Is that all accurate?
Yes. If you're sharing your screen in a Meet like session and you're using the speaker spotlight, your face would show there rather than
Perfect.
using the picture in picture mode so that you would have it there on the screen. That makes it way easier.
Yeah, I agree with you. That makes it way easier. Well, that's cool. That's a great update. And those are
Mhm.
both available. Both of those are features are available in the Google Workspace Plus upgrade. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yes.
Got it.
Which we're
Uh,
enjoying at my school. So again, I'm lucky, right?
Mhm.
yes, yes, it's a great upgrade.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to talk next about some of the Chromebooks extras and updates. And the coming features are some that I really love, especially that first one that I use like all the time because like I'm always busy. So I use Google Tasks like all the time to just like add my to-do list, and then I keep on like marking them as complete like as they go, you know. So here with Chromebook Plus, there's that new feature, an amazing one that you can use from your Chromebook's home screen. You don't need to open your Gmail and go to Google Tasks. You do not need to open Google Tasks itself. So just by clicking here and going to tasks, you can just like add any of the tasks here to your to-do list. You can just like mark it, or yeah. So Laura is like adding a task here, so scheduling parents meetings, and then you can just like mark it as complete. So this helps teachers just manage their to-do lists, which is right like really amazing, and it helps them save time, right? So that is one of the features I really love. So in addition to that, there's another one from the home screen for students that would help them prioritize their Google Classroom assignments. And I believe that is an amazing feature for students so that they would be able to manage classroom assignments more effectively. It can help them just like choose a certain assignment. They can just like set a reminder if it is like due soon, if it is missing, if an assignment is done. So that would help them be able to manage those assignments more effectively, and that is a feature that most of the students really need, right? Do you agree?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Absolutely. They don't have
Yeah.
it saves a step of them having to go into classroom to find all those notifications.
Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes
Exactly.
I would actually just create tasks just to mark them off so I feel good about what I've done today. To just add them in, mark it right off. Look what I did.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. I
So
love that feature.
yeah, the third feature that
Oops.
teachers can definitely like benefit from their Chromebook's home screen is the focus feature, which again I always use like most of the time because like I get stressed out seeing notifications appearing on my Chromebook's home screen. So sometimes like I have certain tasks that need to be done right now. So I don't want to be like or get busy doing other stuff or checking other notifications appearing on my home screen. So I just like use that focus feature, and then you can set like a time limit. You can choose like to work on a certain task from your Google Tasks, and you can even like use the focus sound scrapers or the YouTube music playlist. Okay. So that is something that you can do, and it automatically just turn on the do not disturb mode, and then it would just hide your notifications. So that's just amazing.
I think
That
it's
is
gonna be great not just for teachers, but for students because I
Yes.
think a lot of time with any device that we're using, we just allow all notifications and don't think about how distracting sounds and bells and dings and things coming up on the screen can be to your everyday life that,
mhm.
it takes you that 1 second takes you away from where your focus is. So being able to shut those down on the Chromebook and really be able to focus in on your work, your assignment is going to be huge for our kiddos.
I think for myself, just as a learner, it would cut down on anxiety also. So seeing notifications come through makes me think I've got things happening that I need to be doing instead of what I'm doing. And so that level of anxiety starts to build. So having those things unavailable or visible to me would really level that out for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I just want to make a quick reminder that utilize that chat if y'all have any questions for us. We still have plenty of time, but we are going to do some Q&A at the end as well. So make sure if you've got any questions that are coming up, drop them into that chat and we'll get those answered for you.
So we're not going to demonstrate this one just because we're running a video within a video within a video. So we're going to just talk about this one and you can see on the screen, but it's something to note that another reason, I mean, as if we need another reason to be excited for the Chromebook, advanced use Chromebooks, but there have been further enhancements recently for Google Meet that are only available on the Chromebook. And they are going to allow us to do things like adjust lighting and camera clarity, adjust our noise cancellation and background blur. All of those things will be built into these to the Meet option on our Chromebook Advanced Use Chromebooks. So these are updates that are, of course, when you have the Workspace Plus edition, you might see some of these features in your Google Meet automatically, just because no matter what device you're using. But now that they're kind of integrated more fully into that Chromebook, you're going to see some options and some granularity there that may not seen before. So having that addition is a real great option for us. And then as we're getting ready to kind of wind down today, I don't want us to forget about the amazing partners that we have available in the Chromebook App Hub or the Google for Education App Hub. So one of the more recent additions is Adobe Photoshop, which we know is such a popular tool. And there's been a lot of requests for this to be available on a Chromebook because traditionally there are softwares that are very heavy software that are big, like they have to be downloaded types of software like Photoshop traditionally has been. But now that there's a web-based version, it's now available. And so those things can be accessed from the Google for Education App Hub. And that's really going to give our students and the teachers that are working with them more opportunities to be creative, to create new content versus just working within what's already being created. And these are going to be available for anyone who has the Chromebook to take a look at. So there's lots of them available now. And I do believe if you click on our slides, you could get to that App Hub. I think there's a link somewhere in there. The blue button, I think, is the link. Yeah. All right, guys, we are coming to the end of our time with you today. We appreciate you being with us. We know for those of you who've joined us after work today, you've had a long day. But if you want to join us next week, we have a couple of different webinars coming up. On October 15th, we're going to be going into a deeper dive on Google Classroom, kind of exploring interactivity and the differentiation options that are now available through our most recent classroom updates. And then on October 22nd, we're going to really focus on enhancing literacy using Google for Education and the read along feature that's now updated as part of the Google for Education ecosphere. So we hope you join us. We know that you have lots going on in your daily life, but we want you to be with us next week and the following week. And so be sure to register for those webinars if you haven't already. And I think right now, guys, we will pause for questions. If you don't have a question, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you do have questions, put them in the chat and we'll do our best to answer them. Lori and Labna, great job. Thank you guys so much for joining today.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm reading through some of the comments, and I like what Andy said about that screen capture tool. Quick how-tos with narration for colleagues and students. So if
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
doesn't know how to do something, it's really nice to be able to share a screen recording or a good GIF to show
Like
them exactly how to complete that task.
So the Chromebook App Hub, I did see a question come through about the Chromebook App Hub and whether or not it's available in the free version. I do believe the App Hub is available in to any edition of Google Workspace for Education. So you'll go to that Chrome App Hub or the Google for Education App Hub and scroll through and find those tools that are available. Now, not every tool has a full package available for free, but there's usually freemium content, meaning part of it is free. And if you have the premium service, you might have more features. But definitely go and explore. This is available globally, and it's available in all editions of Workspace Plus. I'm sorry, of Workspace. Just yeah.
There is another question there about the features for students who purchase Plus devices. So the built-in tasks, Google, everything that we showed from the task manager down at the bottom, those are going to be available on those Chromebook Plus devices. So your screen record, the screencast app, the tasks in Google Classroom notifications, the focus, those will all be available on those Plus devices. Great question so far.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We don't see any more questions coming in, so we're going to go ahead and end the webinar for the day, but don't forget to join us next week, and we will see you soon. Have a great day.